weebs? Welcome to the only tier list that actually matters, and that's the fun tier list. Some of this, ooh, meta, that's not meta, that's not respectable League of Legends, and that's not viable. Actually, viability does kind of matter. We're going to discuss this. We do play to win, but like winning is not as important as having fun. Like we don't care about being good. I'm not good. I got to Diamond 2 in League of Legends basically by abusing a lot of the shit that you're gonna see today. Abusing like very specific mechanics that like most people do not know about. So while I can't tell you that I know how to play League of Legends, I can tell you that I know top lane and sometimes mid lane. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so first off, what are our tiers? What are we talking about today? And at the top, we got bustin'. That's the stuff that's like fun, really fun, and also like viable. You know, this is gonna be your APEs, your AP Trinimirs, and some stuff that maybe most people don't know about, like your Skarner top lanes and your Shens, and we'll talk about all that shit. Yeah, and then next is, yes, this is what you might normally think of like as like off meta, something that's like a little out there and like, you know, pretty viable, or something that's like only kind of out there but like very viable, right? This is gonna be like your AP Ezreals, your AP Kog'Maws, your Rammus tops and stuff, right? Your classic like off meta stuff. And then the meme. This is stuff like the meme tier is like where you're gonna find like your 80 Ahris and your 80 Anis and stuff. Stuff that's not like unviable, but like if you play this, you're expecting to lose because it's a lot more fun than it is viable. Like it's got like a little bit, like just enough that you're like, oh, I want to try that. I want to see how that plays. Like just enough that you're trying it out, but it's not actually like good. You're playing this for the meme. And then finally, lastly, we have no, and that's just stuff that just does not have an off meta build. All right, so let's get into it. So first up, what we got is Ahri. So Ahri is we're gonna put Budbear in the meme tier because this is something normally you think of Ahri as like a full AP champion, but like that's not necessarily the case here because one thing that like old Classic League, to the point where I'm kind of surprised Ahri actually made it in, that the old Classic League doesn't have is mobility, right? And so it's like, who like really wants mobility like the most? Like who really wants mobility? Like, yeah, sure, Ahri like mages, but also AD carries, right? That's kind of like why Vayne is so popular in Classic League, because she's like the only AD carry that can like fucking zip around and like hyper carry and shit. So Ahri's got 3 dashes, and that's kind of it. So I mean, yeah, you can play it. It's not gonna win you any games. It's maybe kind of fun to like kind of zip around with the like doing shit, but no. All right. So next is Akali, and Akali is, I mean, you can like build like full AD Akali, but like that's not. I mean, technically that's like kind of like a little bit against what you're supposed to be doing, but it also plays exactly the same way as regular Akali, just like a little bit worse. So I mean, there's no real reason to do this, so we're gonna call this no. But next we got is the classic. This is maybe the most busted god character here. Like this is, like obviously you can go your full AP Alistar. That's always a thing. Like you just have so much CC that they can't hit you and you hit them and they can't hit you and you fucking win, and that's the thing. And then you got heals and shit. So that's it. But then of course you got your Trinity Force, your Sheen, you punt them with you punt them across the lane and then you hit them, and then they can't do anything. So that's a toxic. But also Alistar's got like 3 different like off meta builds you can do. Like also Alistar's ult, he gets like a shitload of like free AD, and like we'll talk about this once we get to like Rammus and like Master Yi, but people don't really fully appreciate like how good free stats are. And Alistar, you get like 100 free AD or something on his ult. Like it's ridiculous, right? You're invincible and you get so much free stats, and then you can just do stuff, right? You can fucking bop them, right? You got the T-Man. The T-Man's got that synergy with the free stats. We'll talk about that later, but that's so good. Alistar is like so good. Amumu is like it's like a meme because it's like you can play full AP Amumu, but he's like the least viable like full AP tank, just because. Okay, so the way Amumu works is just he just kind of sits there and like you can like engage, but like if you're in lane, you have no escapes. You have like no way to like approach your opponent other than like full committing on your Q. You have no range, so like it's like you just, if like anyone outranges you and you can't really do shit, and if you ever get ganked you kind of die. So he's basically kind of like relegated to the jungle, which is like kind of a thing. But if you're playing like full lane, you're playing this shit to lane, or at least I do. I play top lane, I play this shit to shit on my opponent, and you're never shitting on your opponent if you're playing full AP Amumu. So that's next. We got Anivia. Anivia is one of those things that's yeah, no, I think I've seen people maybe play AD Anivia. I don't remember if she had like long auto attack range, but her auto attack, unlike Ahri and the next character we're going to talk about, Annie, is just the worst auto attack in the game by far, and it's not close. Like the windup is like ridiculous that you can't really. No, there is like kind of a build actually. Maybe put this in meme tier, because like there's a build where you like go tank Anivia, and then like your egg is extra tanky because you're tanky, and then no, this is a no. I'm sorry, this is a no. Annie, okay, so the Annie is something that people don't really appreciate, because it's like, oh, Annie is like a standard AP carry. She just casts her abilities and that's it. But what you don't get, actually with Annie, she has something that like very few characters have that you can really abuse, and that's her auto attack range is 575. It's like one of the longest attack ranges in the game. It's like she's like almost like Caitlyn level attack range, right? Now, that being said, if you're actually going AD Annie, obviously she has no other synergies with AD besides her ridiculous attack range. So come late game, the only thing you're really going to be doing is casting your abilities, and that's where most of your damage is going to come from. And by far the most productive thing you're going to be doing is your AoE stun. So it's not actually viable. But one thing people don't really appreciate that you can do with AD Annie is in the early game, with the lane, what you can do, and people don't really think about being able to do this. They don't really think about this, but you can go 30-0 mastery, just go all in offense, and then just use like a little bit of like free attack speed, free AD, and just kind of use that to like shit on your opponents. Like you're playing against like a melee mid laner or like a short range mid laner, you just fucking like auto attack them, and they can't do shit against you. You just kind of abuse them, like to the point where it's like you might actually consider going AD runes on Annie and like building AP like normally, but like for lane just going like AD runes just to like auto attack the shit out of your opponent, right? So it's like almost a yes. But this is like kind of things that you're just gonna do with like regular Annie. Like this is just end up being regular Annie, just like you're laning like a smarter person. So I don't know if it like fully qualifies as like a yes. So we're gonna put it in a meme tier for the full AD Annie build, because that's like a meme. It's something you can do, but like you're probably not doing it. Then we have Ashe. Ashe is a fun one because I mean AP Ashe, that's not even a meme. That's just not good. But one thing Ashe does is, because the way her crit works in Classic League, she just gets like one free automatic crit. So one thing you could do, I think SavHD did a video on this at one point, is you just load her up with crit damage runes and shit, and then you just go Infinity Edge first, and you just go like, pew! And then you just take out like half their HP bar. This isn't actually good, but it is fun, so this is going in the meme tier. The next one, Blitzcrank. This is kind of a funny one, because I think he was like kind of like designed to be this like bruiser character. Because I mean he gets a lot of stuff. He gets his like W, which is like his speed and attack speed, right? And then he gets his like punch, which is like kind of like a crit that like knocks up, right? And then he's got his passive, which is like a free gigantic shield if you build like any kind of mana. So there is like a build of Blitzcrank where you build like Trinity Force and like Frozen Heart and shit, and you just kind of like fucking you just kind of fist him. You just kind of fist him like, oh fuck yeah. But this I played this a bunch, especially in the Twisted Tree line, but this isn't actually good. So this is just going in the meme tier. It is fun, like a lot of fun. I recommend you give it a shot, but no. Brand, he's just not a thing. Caitlyn, AP Caitlyn is like one of those things that's like, okay, so like the meme tier is like kind of things that's like almost viable, and like Caitlyn is like, she's got AP ratios, right? She's got her net and her trap, but for some reason I think they didn't even give her like proper AP ratios on these, like for some reason. This might be like some tuning reason, because like the reason, weirdly, a lot of champions have like AP ratios is because Baron gave you like stats, and so if you gave them AP ratios, they got like a little bit of an extra boost during Baron randomly. I don't really know what the logic behind this one is, but that might be why Caitlyn, I think she didn't have any like proper AP ratio. It was either that or that it was just so clunky to use that it's not. So it's like, even though meme is like supposed to be shit that's like almost into viable, it's really just like not viable. So we're gonna put her in no. Cho'Gath is like, okay, I mean, this is just one of those things we're just gonna put yes, because it's like, okay, you can go full AP Cho'Gath, you can like eat people and shit, like that's good. I guess also he has, right, because like in Classic League, his E was like this toggle thing. So actually, he had this like on hit build where you could go like Wit's End and shit, and like AP, and then like you could just like fucking get foo, right, with like his little spikes, and like that was like not good, but that was like kind of like almost thing. So we're gonna put Cho'Gath in yes. Now Corki, see, Corki is weird because it's like, obviously this is good, but I was like one of the first ones that actually, probably the first one, honestly, let's be honest, if I'm gonna suck my own dick a little bit, to start going AP Corki mid. And it's like, if you look at his like, what he gets from his ult, it's just like repeated like long range fucking nukes with like a pretty high AP ratio. Like obviously this is like AP Kog'Maw, but like a more viable laner, right? But whenever I went this, people would like threaten to fucking troll my games. They were like, what are you doing, AP Corki? What are you doing? It's like, it's not meta. This is not meta. I'm fucking no, like, no, like it's obviously good. It eventually, yes, people figured out that AP Corki is just busted. Like it's like AP Kog'Maw, but like with like better laning and like maybe not quite as good at max items, but like with AP Kog'Maw, you're not really getting there. Now, Dr. Mundo. Now, you might think that Dr. Mundo goes in like, no, okay, he's like an HP tank, you build HP on him, but actually, this is the first thing. This is the first thing here that most people actually don't know about. And see, like, Dr. Mundo's Q is like the most ridiculous ability in the entire game. And what I mean is that it does something like a third of their HP in like magic damage, right? You know, people are like, oh yeah, you build magic resist and that just falls off, and like eventually he just kind of turns into a tank that does like okay damage. But the thing is, what people don't know is that if you just get a lot of magic penetration, this is like true damage, and then you're like, well, you're just gonna build a lot of magic penetration on it. People don't know this, but sorcerer boots stack. Like eventually they made like haunting guys and shit, like and the void staff like unique. You can't build more than one void staff, but you can build 5 sorcerer boots. And you might be like, wait, that's stupid. And it is, and that's why he's going into meme tier. But like, I almost kind of want to put him in yes, because I haven't, because no one did this, obviously, because the support meta wasn't really developed. In like Modern League, people play like these like weird ass supports, like harass, like that just exist to deal damage, right? I don't know, like Vel'Koz support, and you just kind of like shoot your opponent, right? And so it's like with Mundo, if you're going to support build, you don't need a lot of gold. You just get your magic pen, and then you just kind of spend the entire game like chucking fucking cleavers at them, just fucking chucking them. And like, this might actually be good. I don't think this is viable. But like it might be. Like his Q is actually like one of the most busted abilities in the game. And if you just build like a lot of magic penetration, you're just doing like 30% true damage like Qs like every like 4 seconds, like at like max rank. It's fucking nuts. Or like max level. It's fucking nuts, dude. Like once you're full build, and full build only costs like 5,000 gold with this dude, right? Like you get your void staff and you get like 4 sorcerer's boots, right? So like it's more viable than you'd think. I don't think it's like actually like viable, but it's like a lot better than you would like actually think it is, and it's like the most like annoying thing to play against. It's great. Evelyn, she's like on one of the things where you can just kind of like build whatever on her, and it's just kind of like more about like how you play. I want to say like, no, maybe Ezreal. Like, okay, this is one of those things where it's like, it's kind of like meme, kind of yes. Like AP Ezreal is like kind of good, but like kind of not. Like the thing with AP Ezreal, right, is that he can't really lane very well, right? Because it's Ezreal, like he's like this long range, like kind of like poke, like hit you from afar, dude. But like his main weakness, and he has it like his escape, so he's like really just like constantly like sitting back and like pew 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 pew, like hitting you like constantly, right? Consistency. Like that's his kind of whole thing, right? The problem with him is that he doesn't have any wave clear, right? And especially if you're going like the Triforce build and shit instead of like your, you know, your typical AD, like BT, whatever, like you really can't wave clear. And so AP Ezreal, he's like that, but worse. So you're just kind of like sitting, you have to like just kind of like sit in lane and like Q shit like over and over and over and over again. And like once you get ult, then like weirdly your ult is like your best kind of like wave clear, but then it's like kind of like the main reason like your ulting is like to wave clear. It's like do you have it for team fights? Like how do you like you're kind of like really restricted by like your ability kit, even though like once you combo someone you get like a fuckload of damage with this dude, right? And so I mean, I'm gonna put him in yes, because he's like kind of like viable, but like I don't think he's like actually viable, but he's like what he does is like so good that it's like almost like it's good. Like it's definitely better than like all of this shit that we put in like the meme tier, right? And I don't know if it's like actually viable, but like he does kind of struggle. Fiddlesticks. I mean, again, this is like one of those things that's kind of like hard to categorize, because it's like okay, like you go AP, but like also support Fiddlesticks, is that off meta? I don't think people were really doing that back in the day. I think they were like kind of starting to, like towards the end before his rework. And so like I don't know exactly how good this is, but I want to say this is just vibe, because he's got like literally the best CC in the entire game. His like point and click Q fear like for like 3 seconds or whatever, and then his E just like infinite like silence. And if your opponents are ever caught like outside of the minion wave and like you know you're in a duo lane, they bounce, there's no minions to bounce, they're just fucking dead. You just fucking kill them, right? And then of course you just chuck it out to harass, and it does like a shitload of damage. I want to say like yeah, fuck yeah. Fiora, no, like as much as I want to say like AP Fiora, that's like her one like ability that your opponent has to attack you for, that's not a thing. Gangplank, that's a fucking bustin'. Okay, yeah, I mean, like if you ever played this, it's like you're like invincible. You just kind of like walk around and then you get your orange and then you're like at full HP again, and it's like fucking great. And then like, but like on top of that. What people don't know, this is another build people don't even know about, is support Gangplank. And this is, I have actually played this, and this is not like viable, but it's very, okay, so you probably don't remember, because she's not really played in Modern League, but like Vayne was like the ultimate hyper carry. But the problem with Vayne is that like she's really low range, right? And so that means her laning phase is like shit, right? She just gets like dunked on in lane. And Gangplank is like especially good against Vayne, because if she walks up, you fucking shoot her in the face, and then because she has like so low HP and like so low armor at that point in the game, she like one Q is like, I don't know, like 15% of her HP, right? And so you do like 3 or 4 Qs and she has to like fucking leave lane. She cannot walk up to wave if you play Gangplank support in the bot lane, right? And then so with the Gangplank support, you got your E, right? You give your entire team like 20 damage, right? And then you get the Zeke's Herald or whatever the thing is, right? And you give your team like another like 20 damage or whatever, and like lifesteal, right? And then you get your ult. So you're like, you just get all like the buffs, and you're like a walk-in buff machine, right? Which is not like the best thing, but if you just kind of like, but if you like counterpick it into like Vayne, and you just kind of like pew pew like shoot her in the face, right? She just kind of has to leave lane, and then she'll like rage quit. And this is like this is like the only the only lane where it's like viable, but it's like really good in that lane. But then anyway, also like AP Gangplank is the fucking best. Garen, not really. Greg, it's kind of hard to tell, because it's like he's like kind of designed to be a tank, right? But like the main build on him is like AP, obviously. AP Gragas is like that's the tanky build, AP on Gragas. So then like I've seen like a few times people like build like tank, like actually like tank Gragas, because like his W, his like drinking thing is like you just get like a ridiculous amount of like stats, and like you're just kind of invincible. And this is pretty good, and like I want to say like this is like off meta, right? Because it's like AP Gragas is an AP champion, but like really he's like kind of like designed to be a tank, right? And like modern Gragas is like a little bit more supposed to be tank, right? But so I don't know, man. Sure. Next, Graves, no, not really. Heimerdinger is it's one of those things that's kind of hard to tell. Like, I don't know, like, do you put him in, like, yes or, like, no? Because it's like, okay, like, you build, like, fucking promote Heimerdinger. Is that, like, off meta? Like, I don't know. Like, no, I don't want to say no, right? But, like, it kind of is, right? If you're, like, building, like, Minion Mancer Heimerdinger, like, that's like, kind of a thing, right? Like, I don't know. And you build, like, promote, and you get all the fucking, like, minion-like items and shit. Like, I don't know, that's good. Sure, why not? Irelia. Okay, so like Irelia, you can kind of like go AP where it's like, okay, she has like her ult that does like physical damage, and like her E that it stuns if you're, you know, lower HP than your opponent, and so it's like, okay, yeah, you got like an ability and like half an ability, and I don't know, it's okay. Janna's intended to be a support, but I remember seeing like one game, I don't remember what team it was, but they ran like Janna, like this was a pro game, right? And they ran Janna mid lane and like Ezreal jungle, right? And this was like, I don't know, like when they had like the buzz, was that something like the blue jungle item? Blue Ezreal? I don't know. Anyway, what they did was like they ran like the ADC like jungle and shit, and then so Janna just like, she's just like, if you just Q, like, because like modern Janna, her Q is like fucking butchered, right? It doesn't do any damage, right? But like old Janna, like the AP ratios, you just like build this and you would clear the entire wave in like one Q. So you would just like Q the wave and you go leave, right? And it's like, oh shit, like, where's Janna? I don't know. Like, she's like in every lane at the same time, because she's also like the fastest champion in the game, right? Just so you just kind of like Q mid lane and then leave, and then it's like you get all the gold, and then you get to be like supporting your team, right? And so it's like, and then you give your team like massive shields and stuff. She's like this like super like monster like mid lane roamer like support AP like, and does like okay decent damage as well, right? So fucking nuts. Jarvan. I guess no, like, I don't know, he's kind of like tanky, but like full AD Jarvan, AP Jarvan is, like, he's got an AP ratio, and let's say no. Jax is, it's also, like, you can build, like, anything on Jax, like, I don't know, I think they were like, reworking in, like, new Classic that, like, that you can do a little more shit with him, but, I don't know, Karma, old Karma I really like. She's not really, I don't think there's really any ways to build her other than like you full AP, you fucking like blast them with her shield. Karma's like a weird one because it's like she's actually like my secondary character in like modern league. In like the old Karma, I actually really like the old Karma, and I would get flamed every time I played her, and like I think people like kind of didn't really get how to play her, which kind of like contributed to her shit randomly. But she was also like an ass character, because like for some reason like her Q was like a fan heal damage thing, and her E was like a big heal like shield damage thing, right? And then her W is like a chain, and the things that went past like through the chain you damage, right? But the weird thing is the character that you cast your W on, nothing happens to them. So right, it's like, so if you're just kind of like walk up to your opponent, right, you just can't use your W, right? And it's like, or if it's like they just like stand not in the middle of the minion wave, you just can't use one of your abilities. You can't use one of your fucking abilities. So I feel like if they just change it so like you're to like modern Karma W or whatever, or like they could reintroduce like old Karma, but like better and like functional, because she honestly like just felt like a broken character. It's like you didn't have one of your abilities, so like the actual proper Karma build was to just max Q and E and then just ignore W because you didn't have like a third ability. So I kind of hope they fix that, but like no, she's not really like off meta. Karthus is revive teleport Karthus like is this off meta? Like I guess so. Like it's I mean kind of this is like kind of the problem with this. It's like the line between like what even is meta, right? It's like okay, like it's like the, you know, is it like the best thing but what if the thing everyone's doing is like not the best thing that you could be doing, right? And like spawn Karthus is like obviously fucking like ridiculous, right? Like it's like what the fuck? You just fucking shit on him, right? And it's I don't know. Kassadin. Okay, so Kassadin, like, this is one of those other things people don't really like appreciate. Like, Kassadin gets like a shitload of free like attack speed and shit, just from like existing around like magic characters, right? So one thing you can do with him is like play AD Kassadin, and you just get like a shitload of free attack speed, and you get like unlimited mobility, right? And so like I don't know that this is like better than like AP Kassadin, but like it's a thing you can do. And I think he like he also got like armor penetration for some reason. Like he's like he got free armor pen. Like okay, sure, right? And so like it's like almost like he was like intentionally designed to go like AD, but like in the weirdest fuck off way possible. Like armor pen is what you want on like AD like abilities, not like auto attacks. But like he got like like auto, like I don't know. He's like a weird character. Katarina, again, this is like another thing. Actually, I'm gonna put her on, and yes, and here's the reason why. Like the old Katarina, this one isn't coming to new Classic League, but like I kind of wish it did because it was fun. Like, the old Katarina, basically 100% of your damage was in your ult, and people don't really appreciate this. But if someone stood, if like a squishy character stood in your ult for the entire duration, they just died. And you're like, okay, well, Katarina doesn't have any CC. How do you do that? And the simple answer is you just take fucking exhaust on her instead of ignite. And then, like, if your opponent mid laner, like, doesn't have any mobility and doesn't have any, like, stuns, which is, like, not uncommon, right? If you're against Twisted Fate, you just wait for them to use your card, and then you fucking jump on them, and you exhaust them, and then you ult them, and then they die, right? And you're like, well, exhaust has, like, a fucking 3-minute cooldown. Well, no. Because this item called the Gunblade exists, right? And Katarina uses like all the stats from the Gunblade. She's AP and AD, and then of course with the Cutlass, and then later the Gunblade, it comes with a free slow. And so you just kind of fucking Gunbladed them, and then they died. And like that was like I don't know if I want to call this like off meta, because like no one was doing this, but it was like very clearly the best thing to do on Katarina, right? So it's like kind of almost not off meta, but like no one was doing. Oh, Kayle, I remember fucking, like, it took so long for people to catch on, but, like, in the patch notes, like, there was this one patch where both Teemo and Kayle, they suddenly had their E-AP ratio, or their like, auto attack AP ratio increased from 0.2 to 0.4. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's obviously ridiculous. Like, like 0.8 is, like, a pretty good ratio for, like, any ability, and this is, like, an auto attack, right? Like, this is obviously busted. It took like a year for anyone to catch on, right? I remember playing with my university team, right? And like the guy was like, he was actually this like kind of like almost pro player, right? Or he ended up being anyway. And he was like, what you play mid lane? I'm like, okay, I play Kayle and I play Maokai, right? And he like banned both of those characters. He was like, what the fuck? Like, and then he's like, no, they're like really OP champions. And I'm like, fuck you, bro. And like, but like, AP Kayle is like fucking busted. Like obviously it's good. Like it just did so much damage. Like it's ridiculous. My favorite build was like Rageblade in contrary to the Nashor's first build. Nashor's is probably better, honestly, because it's just more consistent, and like, you know, consistency is like really powerful. But if you build Rageblade, you just do like a ridiculous amount of damage. Like you just use all of the stats. You use the attack speed, you use the AD, you use the AP, and you just fucking shit on him. You kind of have to stack it up, and like then your E has like some more downtime because it doesn't have the cooldown. But you can like, you know, like runes for a cooldown and shit. So it's, yeah, it's good. Next, Kog'Maw. Yes, AP Kog'Maw. This is something that's like almost a meme because you need like 3 items for this to actually work. So it's like, I kind of want to put it in meme tier, but like it's just so good and like so fun. You just like kind of like, because like not only that, like your first level ult is like not that long range, right? And then like you get 1 item and you're doing like jack shit. But like once you get to level 16, if you haven't lost the game yet, if you haven't lost your team the game yet by going AP Kog'Maw, by level 16, you're probably cooking. And that's like really good. LeBlanc. Okay, again, this is like kind of like Ahri, where people would just build AD LeBlanc just because it had so much more mobility than like every other character, right? And like that's like a big thing. Like mobility is huge. People don't really realize how good this is, but mobility is fucking huge. And of course, like, she didn't have anything else. Technically, she had her, you know, her clone thing, which she could do some shenanigans with, but it didn't do damage, right? So, like, it's not actually viable, but, yeah. Lee Sin, I don't know, like, top lane Lee Sin is, like, kind of, like, off meta, but, like, not really. I mean, like, no, it's just, Lee Sin's, like, kind of, like, a busted character. Lulu, okay, Lulu is, like, yes, one of those, I mean, it's... Yeah, full AP. It's like full AP champion. You just, instead of like the regular thing, you go full AP. But like, you know, you hit them with the E, and then you Q on them, right? And then you get a lot of cooldown. And then you Q them again, right? And it's like you're like fucking. It's a good character. It's just a good character. I don't even know. I almost want to put like no, because it's just like kind of like almost how you're supposed to play old Lulu, right? No, actually, sorry. Because he also had the ADC attack speed, like Nashor's Wits End shit on Lulu, right? When you could do that, and that was like good. So we're gonna put her in yes. That's a yes. Lux. This is not a real thing. But Civ HD kind of made this a meme where you go Admog's Lux, and like, it's not at all good. But he's got a video on it, and so like people know about it. Okay, Malphite. Okay, so Malphite is the first really interesting one when we're going to talk about. And what do I mean by really interesting? It's the people don't really know exactly how this works. So like Malphite is like busting, right? Like we're put it because like you can full tank, that's kind of like off meta, I guess, or full IP, and he's kind of a tank. That's not bad. But the thing I want to talk about is people don't really appreciate how Tiamat works, and so Tiamat is like an extra free spell, right? And so for a lot of characters, right, like Alistar, like Nocturne, Tryndamere, if you build like Tiamat, right, Rammus too, like we'll get into that. But Tiamat, it's like if you have free AD. Right, then that free spell you get is like more powerful, right? And so it kind of synergizes. It's like more effective than it like otherwise would have been. Even if you have like no other thing that would really synergize with like that much AD. If you have like free AD, then like Tiamat is like kind of like almost automatically good with you. Malphite, he doesn't actually get that. He kind of does use like AD because he splashes, but that's not exact. That's not really the reason why it's good on him. The reason Tiamat is good on Malphite is because Malphite has like the most busted spells in the game. Like his Q is like this point and click fucking huge base damage, fucking slows everything. His E is like attack speed slow, range like fucking does everything. Malphite is balanced by his mana costs, right? And the thing with Tiamat is if you suddenly, you know, have splash damage, and with Malphite you have like extra splash damage from your W, then you no longer need to use your mana to clear the wave, which means you have 100% of your mana to use in lane and fights and everything, which kind of means, like, in a kind of a roundabout way, this is not like literally true, obviously, but like in a sense, for like 1,400 gold for like the price of a Tiamat, whatever the cost, you have infinite mana on Malphite, right? And so like the thing that's like kind of like keeping him in check, keeping him balanced, is his mana costs, right? And so I mean, and it's like if it was like useless on him, like maybe this like wouldn't be good. But the thing is, like he still gets to use like the Tiamat, right? You kind of ult in, but like first like in fights, you kind of like do splash damage. You ult in like hopefully 2 or 3 people, and then you like hit them with all your abilities, and then you start whacking them, and you kind of splash them, and then the Tiamat you get like an extra splash, right? But then also like you wave clear because you got the innate splash. Then normally like it wouldn't be that good. You'd still have to like hit it like a bunch of times to like clear the wave. But with Malphite, because he has the like innate splash, then you end up with the Tiamat, and especially with the active, you end up clearing like a wave like pretty fast. So like essentially, Malphite gets like free infinite mana if you buy a Tiamat on him. And it's like people don't really like recognize like how good this is, but like you just go full tank plus Tiamat, and it's like good. Malzahar, this is one of my favorite builds, honestly. That's fucking bustin'. Oh my god. And actually, Freak said they're actually buffing this, even though it's like already pretty good. Like 80 Malzahar, you get like this is like Malzahar, like normally AP, you just kind of like, yeah, you cast your spells, like whatever, okay, keep casting, I guess. Boring. But then with like the Voidlings, you gotta like manage your abilities properly. There's like a little bit more skill involved rather than just like clicking all your buttons, right? You gotta like, okay, like how do you like manage like getting like all 3 Voidlings at the same time, like ulting someone and like having them like fucking like shit on? Because like if you ult someone with like 3 Voidlings, they're dead. They're fucking dead. They're just fucking dead, right? And so like 80 Malzahar is like good, right? Now, obviously, Master Yi goes in busted, but not just for the AP thing, because this is another thing that people don't really know about. There's an item in the game that they're adding back called Sword of the Divine, and this is like kind of a meme item. What it does is it gives you 100% crit for your next 3 attacks, and it also gives those attacks plus 100% attack speed, right? But then once it goes on cooldown, you get 0 stats from the item. It's like you don't have the item at all. So you better make those 3 hits count. How do you do that? Well, again, kind of like Tiamat, if you have free attack damage, then those crits are stronger. So what you would do with Master Yi, with his free like 70 attack damage and when there's E, you just max E, then you rush Sword of the Divine, and as soon as you get back to lane, your opponent dies. It does not matter how tanky they are. At that point in the game, everyone dies, no matter what. And then you just fucking kill them, right? And then you kind of like try to snowball the game from there. Now, in my experience, I didn't actually win that many games. I'm not actually sure if that's because I was I don't have any macro ability, and I was just fucking playing to like fucking kill them, because I mean that's the most fun part. You just fucking walk up to them and you kill them. Because like I cannot understate like how much you just literally kill anyone in the fucking game if you have Master Yi with Sword of the Divine. You walk into the lane and your opponent's dead. There is nothing they can do. They cannot run away. You're Master Yi. They're fucking dead. Okay, like it's just good. Misfortune. I mean, I guess this goes in like busted. I mean, they had to fucking nerf this character because AP like support in Misfortune, AP Misfortune was just so good. You just hit their E. Like it's like one of like the longest range pokes in the game, and it comes with like a slow, and it does like a shitload of damage, and then you ult and it does more damage. Like that's fucking good. I like it. It's good. Mordekaiser. This is one of those things people don't really know about. Okay, so most people would build like tanky Mordekaiser, and you would like do hyper carry, never die, but like. Here's the thing, Mordekaiser existed in a time when Deathfire Grasp also existed. So that did like an active with like 30% max HP damage. Mordekaiser's ult did not only like 35 or whatever. You put them together, use your other abilities, you fucking one-shot literally anyone. If you have full AP Mordekaiser with Deathfire Grasp, you are playing a 4v5. This was so good. Like Mordekaiser was like already the best character in the game. He was like permaban before he got nerfed, and people didn't even know how good he was. Like I'm like, I'm serious. You had so much damage. You just one-shot anyone, and then I mean, sorry, it's not a 4v5. It's a 4v6, because you got their fucking ghost too. Like this was so fucking good, and people didn't know how good it was. It was so fucking good. Holy shit, bro. Oh my god. Okay. Morgana, like, I don't know, she's not really, Nasus, okay, I don't know if this belongs in yes, because the thing is, AP Nasus is, like, a thing you can do, but this was, like, after they changed his E to, like, have, like, half of his damage, like, front-loaded. In old League, they didn't do that, and I'm not sure if this is common to, like, Classic League. I mean, this is a tier list for, like, old League, right? So, like, god damn it, I put, like... Because like AP Nasus is like good. You just like kind of like Janna. You just kind of like clear mid lane. You just kind of clear mid lane, and then you just kind of go fucking gank somewhere, right? You just and like also not only that, because you do so much damage, like they can't not be poked. Like Janna, you can kind of avoid her Q, right? Nasus, you cannot avoid it. You could not avoid his E. It's so big, and you're guaranteed to get like the first hit, yes, but also like 1 or 2 hits. And like when Blue Ezreal was the thing, like blue mid Nasus, holy shit, like that was like good. Like I almost want to put it in like busted, but it's not like that good, but it is good. Nidalee. This is, I mean, yeah, you could build like anything on Nidalee. The Triforce Nidalee, you could build like fucking weird shit on Nidalee. You could build her like support, obviously like full AP. Spears was the best build, because I mean you fucking spear to the face from like a million years away. Nocturne, holy shit. Actually, are we missing someone? We are missing someone, hold on. We are missing AP Maokai, holy shit. Like I know like, okay, AP tank, you go full AP, yes, yada yada yada. Again, this is another character that existed in the Deathfire Grasp meta. And so, Maokai, you just fucking jump on him, you toss the sapling, and then you root him with your W, and then that guarantees the second hit of the sapling, and then you fucking punch him in the face, or sorry, the first thing you do, as the sapling's in the air, is you Deathfire Grasp him, and then you jump on him, the sapling explodes, and you like punch him in the face, and then explode your R, right? I think that was after they buffed his R a little bit, and then they're like fucking dead, right? And so, yeah, this was good as well. You could just like load bushes with saplings. That was the funnest thing ever. You could do like all sorts of shit with this dude. This is my favorite build. Okay, Nocturne top, again, another underrated thing. Like, okay, so what Riot says is that they like wanted to keep this guy in check because, you know, top lane, you just get like a bunch of free stats, a bunch of sustain, and your opponent cannot duel you when they're on your Q and you have like plus 60 free attack. Theoretically, this is kept in check by his mana costs, but again, 1, Tiamat, you know, see my thing on Malphite, and also 2, Corrupting Potion was a thing. So basically, they got rid of mana potions, but then they put in the Corrupting Potion, and so you go Corrupting Potion, Nocturne top, and then you just kind of go into lane, and as soon as you hit 6, you either kill your opponent, or you go bot lane and you kill the bot lane, or you go mid lane and you just fucking kill someone, right? Right? And so you would just kind of like snowball like immediately by just like fucking leaving lane, and then, you know, you teleport back to lane or whatever. And the other thing is, it's like a lot of like meme picks, there's like some kind of weakness with them, but with Nocturne, as long as you were smart with mana, like even if you're like in like some kind of losing lane, you have a ranged like spell that you can use to last hit, and you have a shitload of sustain, and you have a spell shield that you can block one of their abilities. Okay, so like basically how Nocturne works is you chuck your Q at them, and if it lands, they cannot fight you because you just get a shitload of free stats, right? And then you just kind of like, okay, you fucking kind of pummel them, and you lifesteal or whatever, and you take lane advantage, or you start hitting them, right? If you Q them and they try to fight you on your Q, they lose the trade. Like, no questions. If they just cannot deal with raw stats. And then so we just kind of win like that, right? And so like a lot of people really didn't appreciate how good this was. But like top lane Nocturne busted. Nunu. Yeah, Nunu was a support. Was this busted? I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna put him in yes for now. I don't remember exactly how good this was, but like Nunu support at some point just like gave like your hyper carry, like Vayne or whatever, just like a ridiculous amount of like attack speed. And then obviously AP Nunu is like a thing. We're gonna put him yes for now. Olaf. No, Pantheon. This is another category for the meme tier. Because like, okay, he has like one regular spell at an AP ratio. I think it's 100%, but like the base damage is like so incredibly low that it's like not good. But the ult has like, was it like at like the center? I think it was like a 2 AP ratio or something like absolutely ridiculous, right? And then so like theoretically you could like, if you paired this with like a Malphite or something, you could like really like combo them to hell and just like one shot like them with like a big ass combo. But if you miss your ult, you're not doing shit. Right, so that's what kind of keeps it in the meme tier. Like if you manage to pull off the dream and like fucking hit like several people with the center of your ult, you win. If you don't, you're not doing shit. Rammus. Yes, okay, so again, people did not appreciate what raw stats gives you. And again, Tiamat, it's like another spell, so it gives you like a spell with an 80 ratio, and so you put on a character that gets like free attack damage, like say Rammus, and then you're looking pretty good. Obviously it's not like the best thing on him again, but the thing is, Rammus is like a roaming character, right? So you want to clear, like if you play in top lane Rammus, you want to clear lane, and then you want to go somewhere and kill a bitch, right? And how do you clear lane? Well, you fucking hit him with you Tiamat the lane and everything, you know? So like, and then like dueling Rammus, if you hit your W, like your opponent like can't like really fight you, right? And it's like, and so like the main weakness of like Rammus is like kind of like his wave clear. Like he can kind of wave clear with like the W, but it's like kind of like unreliable, and like you kind of have to like take minion damage or something. But if you just like abuse your like free like base AD with the Tiamat, then you can just like actually kind of duel your opponents, and like you turn 6. Once you turn 6, like with everything you have, like the amount of like base damage you have is like kind of ridiculous, right? If they can't just like fight you. If you turn on like your R, you start like fucking quaking them. Like they can't just fight you, right? So it's like almost a meme. Like I'm not sure like how viable. It's like definitely better than linear thinking. I don't know if it's like quite like yes, like okay, it's viable, but like it's like good. Rise, I mean, does this guy even have like a meta? He changed so many times. I don't know. AP Shaco. Yes, AP Shaco. I think the most viable thing I think was actually AP Shaco's support, where you just kind of like fucking trap all the bushes. You get free wards. They cannot gank you. You can sometimes pummel in the face with the E, and then once you ult, they have a hard time fighting you, because if that thing explodes in your face, you kind of die. So it's pretty good. Singed is a motherfucker, but I don't think he has a thing. AP Cyan. We need to talk about AP Cyan. Like I don't know what to tell you. Sivir, no. Skarner, okay. This is actually this is the build I used to win 3rd place in a G Field tournament. This is the Lobster. Okay, so again, people do not appreciate what free stats is, and Skarner's entire fucking kit is free stats. So you take him top lane, but counterintuitively, you don't build damage on him. Not really, and you don't max Q first. What you do is you max W first, and you get Frozen Heart or Frozen Fister, the Iceborne Gauntlet. You fist him. You get that first. And it kind of like if you're against an AD champion, you get the Frozen Heart first. If you're getting an AP champion, you get the Fister. And because the reason this works is because, well, for one, his Q, you want to sit on them, right? You want to be tanky so you can fucking sit on them and get your empowered Q and just do that over and over. And then your Q kind of, does it give you attack speed, or that might have been the rework one? But your W, so your W, it gives you movement speed. If I can stick on them. It gives you shield, you don't die, especially if you're building that Frozen Heart first. That's like effectively like HP, and you've got like a shitload of defenses, and if you're getting cooldown and mana, that shield's never coming off. You're not dying. But also, more importantly, gives you attack speed. And what does attack speed do? Well, the thing is, with Skarner, his passive, if you auto summon, all of your cooldowns come down, right? You see where I'm going with this, right? So, like, you get max cooldown as fast as you can on Skarner. Your W is always up, and you get free attack speed to keep hitting them. And then more attack speed, the more you're able to keep hitting them. The more you keep hitting them, the more your cooldowns come down. The more Qs you get, the more invincible you are with your W. The more you just go, right? And I think he was like a little bit better. I don't remember exactly what changed, but his second E with the stun, that was like a little better than his current than the E they're going with the heal. But I mean, with that, like, you don't die. So basically, how this would work is if you think Skarner is like a face roll champion in the jungle, like whether you played him top lane, all you have to do is like have like competent like movement, and then you just like fucking mash your keyboard and you just fucking kill anyone. Like they just fucking, like they cannot fight you. They cannot fight you because your shield is so huge that they never die, and you have enough damage that you're eventually just gonna kill them. Like you get the Frozen Heart, and then even better actually if you have the Gauntlet. If you're like in a situation where you can get the Gauntlet first, then you have the extra Sheen now, but you roll your face on the keyboard and they die. So that's a thing. Next, Sona. AP Sona's like kind of a thing. But the problem with AP Sona is kind of the exact same problem with AP Ezreal, where she does not have wave clear, except it's even worse because your ultimate does not hit minions, so you can't even ult for wave clear, right? And so like her abilities are like kind of the best. If you can get like full build AP Sona, you kind of like shut on everything, but like you cannot wave clear. So this is like basically like no matter how good this is, it's like impossible for her to be viable as anything but support, but it is fun. Soraka, this is just, I don't know how this made it into the game. Like, I don't know how they're gonna like balance this in Classic League, but like her Q just does like so much damage to everything. Like, it does so much damage. Her E is like a free silence damage ability. Like it's ridiculous. And then of course you got heals, but that's important. You don't even build heal on like AP Soraka. You just fucking like shit on them with your Q, and you kind of yeah. Taric has a couple builds. First, he's like kind of like a discount AP Zion, and like if you ever know how good AP Zion is, like it's discount AP Zion. They had to nerf that shit, and then you got Taric. It's like kind of like the same thing, right? You fucking stun him, and then you fucking hit him. But also, because his old passive was you get free magic damage on auto attack. There's this kind of like off meta build. There's this kind of like weird build where you build like Wit's End and shit on him, and you just fucking smack him with your hammer. Like he had like a giant hammer, but like the auto attack animation was like kind of like a lame. So you're just kind of like waka, waka. And it looks stupid, but it's like a decent build. Teemo, not really. Okay, so apparently my recorder died midway through this. So if you're wondering about the sudden costume change, that's why. And hopefully, we didn't miss anything, and we'll just continue where we probably left off. Okay, so next, Rumble. No, not really. I mean, you can like kind of maybe play him like kind of tanky, but like essentially no. Riven, no, she has no AP abilities. Singed. He's fucking singed. I mean, Shen is okay. Shen is one I really want to talk about because this is another one of those things where people don't really know what this does because people didn't actually understand how stats work back in the day. And then Shen got reworked like pretty early on, and no one really figured him out. But thing is, like the best item on Shen is Trinity Force. And hear me out, because if you think about like the item Trinity Force is like the best item in Classic League. I mean, it just does so much that like no other item does, right? So if you think about like what a good Trinity Force user is, it's someone that like auto attacks a lot and also casts a lot of spells, but doesn't do either of them so much that they get in the way of the other, right? You want somebody who's constantly casting spells and constantly auto attacking, right? And so you got your Irelia's, like she does that, you know, with her ult, she goes like pew pew pew, like Nasus is, and then like it's okay on like Olaf and shit. But arguably, I'd say the person who most embodies this like identity of casting a spell and attacking, and then casting a spell and attacking, maybe not better than Nasus, but like, you know, the next is Shen. And people don't really realize this because, you know, they look at Trinity Force and then you look at Shen and they're like, well, Shen doesn't use mana, you can't buy a Sheen on Shen. And it's like, okay, sure, you're losing out on gold value of the mana that you're not using, but then all it is everything's a trade-off. Like, what are you losing gold value on mana that you're getting elsewhere, right? Are you getting like, you know, enough value from everything else? And I think the answer is obviously yes. Like, he uses like every stat pretty well. Like health, that's like the main stat you want on Shen, right? The attack damage, you're attacking things, like sure, right? The phage is just good. And then attack speed, yes, you're attacking. You want like a little bit of attack speed again on a Trinity Force user, but not too much. So the Zeal's pretty good. Obviously, it doesn't crit, but like, you know, most Trinity Force users, you're not building like other crit. Like Nasus, that you're not building crit on Nasus, but you build Trinity Force, right? And then so Sheen, ability power, like ability power is great on Shen. You love ability power on Shen, right? You don't want to like go full AP Shen. That's another thing you can do. It's not great. It's like it's one of those things on like the edge of viability. But it's good. And then mana you don't use, right? But like everything else is like Cho'Gath on him. And so he's just you cast your Q and you auto attack and you keep auto attacking. And the more auto attacks you, the more empowered like passive like hits you get. And then like you just keep queuing and auto attacking and like getting your empower auto attacks from your passive, and he just does like a shitload of damage, right? You just build Trinity Force into tank, and he's like one of the best Trinity Force tanks in the game, right? So Shen, I'm actually gonna put him in busted tier because he's a secret. He's like no one knows about. Like this is actually like ridiculously good, but like no one really knows how good it is. All right, and then this Shyvana. Shyvana's like, I'm gonna put her in the meme tier, because like AP Shyvana, they rework Shyvana, and then like normally when they rework stuff like Shen, they rework and then they take away all the fun builds, all the off meta builds. But Shyvana's like the weird case where like in her rework they kind of like made AP Shyvana viable with her like whole explosion thing that just like fucking shits on everybody. That's, I mean, whatever. I'm curious what they do with I'm curious what they do to Shyvana once they release her in Classic League, because I'm assuming she's coming to Classic League, but like I don't know what they're doing with her, right? Like, because she's like kind of like an underwhelming champion, but like she's pretty classic, right? Like kind of to a fault, but so we'll see. Swain. No, like kind of like I've heard there's like things you can do with like crits or whatever with Swain. I'm not sure how like real of a thing that is, but put him in, I guess. No, Talon doesn't have any. No, you just build an assassin. Teemo, I mean, you can build in like a lot of ways. AD, you know, AP, whatever, attack speed on hit. Like all of them are like vaguely Teemo. You do Teemo things. Tristana, this is another one for the busted category, and the reason Tristana is so good is because again. AP Tristana is another one of those characters that was around in the Deathfire Grasp era. And so Tristana's E ratio is 1.0. It's a point and click dot that does like ridiculous base damage and then has like a 1.0 ratio. And then her ult is like, I think her ult was like 1.5 AP ratio or something like absolutely insane. So you just basically like jumped on dudes, you Deathfire Grasp, but you eat them, and you fucking blast them away with your ult, and then you just watch as like the dot from the E just kind of ticks them down, and then they fucking die. And like she could 100-0 most characters, including tanks. Like it's like AP Tristana is ridiculous, and like the laning is like kind of nuts because you just have this point and click kill your opponent because the base damage on it is so high, like it's insane. Trundle, I mean he's got an AP ratio on his ult, but I don't think this is like even good enough for the meme tier. Like this is not a thing. Tryndamere, I think we all know about Tryndamere. Obviously Tryndamere is going in the busted because You just like Tryndamere whole thing is you have to hit shit, and then you stack up your Fury, or in the old days like stacks, right? You stack up your stacks, and then you consume the stacks and get HP back, and so you're not dying. But AP Tryndamere, he's like, nah, like I'm just gonna heal for free with 0 stacks. So you just kind of like sit in lane and keep like healing, and then you don't die, and your damage is like pretty good because your E, it does physical damage, but it's got a 1.0 ratio, and then he just has like a silly amount of damage in his kit already. So you just kind of buy a Lichbane or whatever. I think it was Lichbane, and then you just kind of like shit on everyone, and then don't die, and then you hit your ult, and then you don't die even more because you're fucking Tryndamere again. Like, you know, AP doesn't change the fact that your ult is already a non-die ability. So he's, I mean, they had to nerf the shit out of this one. That's busted. XTF, I mean, it's kind of like no, because like, I mean, you like yes, maybe, I don't know, because like AD TF is like kind of off meta, not really. Atmog's TF was a thing I think CivHD was doing. I don't think that's good. So he's like kind of a meme. It's like, but you're kind of like intended to be able to like build him AD. So I want to. I'll put him in no, because it's like he's, I don't know, he's just like carry auto hacked. He like does abilities and stuff. You can kind of build like whatever on him. He's one of those characters. Twitch, I think Twitch you can, right? Because Twitch is just AP. You just like, it basically works like modern Twitch. You just like shoot them a lot and you expunge them for like a fuckload of like AP like ratio damage with all your poison stacks, right? Like that's pretty good. Urgot, no, he didn't really have any shit. Udyr, Udyr, it's like you can go full AP Udyr, but is that like, I don't know if that's like, you know, I don't think that's not intended, right? You can just kind of build everything on Udyr. You know, you can go 2 different ways. You can go like full offense, go hybrid, and only get Tiger and Phoenix, and just like build like a fucking like Gunblade and Rageblade or whatever. I don't know. Vayne, theoretically, tank Vayne is like kind of a thing. I don't know. Is that a meme? Like, because Vayne's base damage is like pretty good. So like, there's some people who went like kind of like tank Vayne. Like that's all right. I guess that's like a. Let's put that in the meme tier. Veigar. Again, this is kind of actually a meme. You know, not to think about. I was gonna put him in like no, because it's like okay, you build AP, but like also he's like one of those characters that you can like that stacks infinitely. So one thing you like kind of can do in Veigar is just like go full tank and then just like stack up as much free AP as you can get in his queue, and then you're like pretty tanky. And then, like, if they have AP characters, your ult is based on their AP ratios, right? Their ability power, not yours, right? So he's kind of like, it's like kind of not bad. Like, I don't know if it's good, but it's definitely a thing you can do. Victor, I don't think there's any like, you know, weird builds you can do. Same with Vladimir, like you can build him more tanky or AP. That's just kind of like intentional. Like whatever's like optimal is just kind of up to like the meta at the time, and like, you know, whatever items are good. Xin Zhao, this is, I mean, I've played it a lot and it's really not good. Like AB Xin Zhao. No, you know, what would AP Xin Zhao do if he were here today? He's just an answer to it. And so, Xin Zhao is like, this is a meme. Like I love it, and I love the song, but this is not good. Like, I've played it a lot, and like, you can like shit on towers. That's the only thing you're doing. that's the only thing you're doing, right? And like, you know, other characters you can play, like Tower Mance or fucking like Nasus or whatever. Get a GG Rot portal and like characters and be like, I'm playing PvE. But like Xin Zhao, like really, if you're going to AP, you're not doing anything but hitting towers. Warwick, this is another one they had to fucking nerf because this is busted. Holy shit. AP Warwick. Okay, so let me walk you through how AP Warwick works, right? His Q has got a 1.0 ratio. And so you gotta go in the lane with the Q, and then you're going to walk him, Q him, and you heal back, whatever they hit you, and then you Q him again, and then you Q him again, and then you never guess what happens again. You Q them again, and then they kind of die. And if you have your ults, you ult them, and then you Q them one more time, and they're dead. And then that's kind of his whole thing, right? Like, I don't actually know if this was like busted or just like toxic, right? Because I feel like a lot of these things that they're like, oh, this is toxic, let's get rid of it, but it's like not even actually like that good, right? It's like, okay, you know, sure, like APE was like played and like, you know, perfect. Okay, now that was kind of busted a little bit, but you know, so I think it's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. You walk up and you Q, and you're like, yeah, fuck yeah. So we're gonna. we're gonna, fuck it, we're living in busted. They nerfed it, hell yeah. Fuck you. Wukong, no. I mean, he's got an AP ratio in his W, but you're not hitting anyone with that. Yorick, again, like, Yorick, the entire character is like a meme. Like, I don't know. He's got an AP ability, and he's got like an AD ability, but none of them actually have like meaningful ratios, right? You just kind of like cast shit and then like, I don't know, hit them, I guess. It's kind of a meme. And then finally, Zilean. Zilean is, I mean, I don't know. No, you play Zilean. Yeah, you play Zilean, that's fine. Zilean's cool, I guess. So that's fine. Yeah, so there we go. So I guess that's everything, you know. We got our fucking busted shit. We got the shit that you can like kind of like do. Yeah, these things work. I don't know. Kassadin, and maybe this goes in the meme for the AD Kassadin, but I don't know. Kassadin is just fucking busted, right? I'm really looking forward to what Riot does with the new shit, right? Because like they said they want to embrace the meme builds, they want to embrace the fun. I'm like, yo, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is my game, right? And so I'm kind of looking, because and apparently they're like buffing 80 Malzahar, right? So I'm looking forward to like how they're gonna like, you know, support all these off meta builds, because apparently they're doing that. Apparently they're like they're taking down the middle finger, right? They're like, yeah, you go play your fucking Sword of the Divine Yi and like, you know. Yeah, like that's what I'm about. So definitely make videos on some of these builds, especially the ones people don't know about. Look forward to a Skarner top build, a Trinity Force Shen top build. Looking forward to some fucking toxic shit, because that's what I'm about. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, friends, and I'll see you in the next video.